Goldman Sachs is finally starting to support the semiconductors. Last Monday, on July 22nd, they put out a report, and Applied Materials popped about 6% on the report. They were bullish on the semiconductors, in particular they said the memory chip sector, but it was really a general report on the semis. And Applied Materials was one of the biggest reactions, was up about 6%. And we just want to point out our value proposition here. You know, we are not a Goldman Sachs. We are much more nimble. Our research can go out, you know, we can turn around research report in an hour a lot quicker than a Goldman, who has a lot of checks and balances. They have a completely different value proposition. You know, when they put out a report, it's going to be a long, well-vetted, serious, well-documented report. We're a little bit more nimble, but we still know what we're doing, and we still provide a lot of value. We've been supporting these stocks since early January 2019 and even late 2018, but really got bullish in January 2019. We have 30 separate occasions through our videos that we're documenting. We put together all those clips. They're just short little clips, although there's quite a bit of them, so it's a little bit of a lengthy video, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. And hopefully it really points out our value proposition as FSA valuation service. Lam Research. We're going to talk about a very technical company today. All the details. We do need to understand the financials, though. So it doesn't matter what kind of company you are, you still got to go out and make a return on invested capital. You're going to put capital in, and you're going to sell your products and hopefully get a better return than what you put in. Okay, so let's take a closer look in our software. And you can see the company's had a cyclical history. Texas Instruments, TXN on NASDAQ. This is a great company, been around a long time, really focusing on what's called analog products and embedded processors. That's 80% of the revenue, and it's a huge area. I really like this company. I'm almost thinking we should buy it now. I'll give more into that later. I think January 1st, 2019, added Intel to our portfolio. We are already seeing rising cash flow IRR, and 5G hasn't even hit yet. I think Intel is a really unique opportunity right now, a big time opportunity. Okay, Intel ended the after hours party in a hurry. Let's go over the quarter. I'm not giving up on this stock, by the way. Don't just because they missed a quarter doesn't mean you give up on the stock. And okay, talking about Micron, we talked about a lot of semis today, and it was a spectacular day. It was so much fun. Lam Research, one we cover, they make the wafers. They were up 15% on a good earnings release. Xilinx was up. We don't actually cover that one, but we took a look at it, and it's a great company. It looks a little too rich for me, but that's beside the point. It still had a good quarter, and the stock was up 18%. That's fantastic. A lot of good news. Micron itself was up 6.8%. Intel was up 3.8%. Then really crashed the party in the after hours, which we just did a video on, so watch that one too. See with our own eyes that it's really priced in. I mean, it's really priced in. It's hard to do a scenario worse than the one we did, and we got a $55 value. We're talking about Texas Instruments. A lot of semiconductors released today, and the market is going crazy on semiconductors today, and rightfully so. I think they've been beaten up pretty badly. There's some cyclical nature to some of them, and others are a little more steady. Texas Instruments to me is just one of the really good ones. It's less cyclical than most, and it's bigger than most, and it's just really super solid idea for really any portfolio. February 1st, Rock Report, sticking with our hypothesis from January of time to get back in, statistically speaking, and we added Micron to our model portfolio. I'm a bit more bullish than most people I've talked to on the semis. A lot of people, their hypothesis is that there's a slowdown in the next quarter or two. Inventories have built up, so we've got to work off that inventory. And there's just been orders have slowed down. And while I actually agree with that, I'm willing to get ahead of it, and I think the next cycle starts about 6 months from now, and then really a year from now. And I want to be in the water to catch a wave now. Applied Materials released their quarter, and I was kind of hoping for a bit of a pop. We didn't get one, but nothing's really changed for the long-term view. March Rock Report, adding KLA Technologies, Applied Materials, and more intel to our portfolios. Little excerpt. The next cycle is not far away, and it should be huge as rollout of 5G is about to begin. In the semis, we like Intel, KLA, Applied Materials, Micron, Texas Instruments, Lam Research, Broadcom, Nanometrics. Skyworks, SWKS on NASDAQ. Anyone who's been following me recently knows I've been talking a lot about 5G and the rollout that's coming, I'd say late 2019. I really believe in this. It's going to be huge. I think it's, the internet coming of age, where all these things that we talk about now, I mean, we're obviously seeing a ton of great stuff already, but this is going to make latency very, very low, and things they'll just work. Downloading a movie from used to take, days to this will take like 10 seconds down. And so again, you don't need to be an expert to understand that this company is making a lot of money, right? Just look at our valuation model, look at the return on invested capital. It skyrocketed to 28%. It's trickled down a little bit recently to 21. 21 is still very impressive, and this has Q4 data, which... All right, we got to talk about Micron today. This is really turning out to be a very difficult case. Everyone's known that there's a downturn in semis altogether, and DRAM especially. So that's not too new, but it does seem that the prices of DRAM are even under more pressure than had originally been thought. I think it was Taiwan Semi-conductor yesterday, which is in their DRAM as well, put out a report, and their DRAM prices were down like 43% or something, like, a massive number. We've kind of modeled in a 50% cut in EBITDA, and it's worth $30.68. Okay, we're getting there. What I think is wrong about this model, though, is I think it actually bounces back. There's no, I'm going to say no way. It wouldn't be a good forecast at this moment in time to say, it never gets better again. It should get better. We've got 5G coming down the pipe, more and more devices, more memory is necessary. Like it's going to happen. There's a downturn. So I would think you'd want to put in an 8 or something. And that gets you back to 43. Okay, Micron is leading the semis higher today, and it's quite a remarkable story, I think. Just a few weeks ago, I had clients calling me going, what's going on? DRAM prices are coming way down. One of the competitors came out and said their revenue dropped 43%. Everybody knew there was a slowdown in the space, not just DRAM, but like semis altogether. And Micron was going to get killed, and just go Google or go on to Yahoo Finance and look at some of the press releases that were coming out from a few weeks ago. And it was a tough call. I decided to stick with it, saying I think it's priced in. April 1st, Rock Report, adding Skyworks to our model portfolios. Okay, Intel's down about 7% on Thursday's trading after releasing their earnings in the early morning before the market opened. Not great results, agreed, except that it was kind of telegraphed, so I don't think they were as bad as the market. I mean, they should have expected it, is what I'm saying. May 1st, Rock Report. We still support semiconductors despite expected weakness in Q1 and Q2. With respect to semis, we think investors are completely aware of the short-term weakness and are more focused on the long-term, which will begin with the rollout of 5G in the near future. KLAC is the ticker on NASDAQ. Okay, so as people know, we've been kind of bullish in this area, and specifically we have like KLA for a while and have it in our model portfolios. Released a quarter today, beat the top line, beat the bottom line, and shares went down. Hey, what are you going to do? That just looks like an opportunity to us. All right, we're talking about Skyworks, SWKS on NASDAQ. Released their earnings on Friday, and I'd say more or less in line. In fact, a small beat on the bottom line and a small miss on the top line. Shares came off 3-4%, something like that, down a little bit more today. Not even a concern to me. I think it's still fantastic. All right, Skyworks is getting caught up in this Trump idea to ban Huawei. It's down 6% today. It was down in the China tariff problem earlier, but specifically today was about the Huawei ban. Okay, so unfortunately for Skyworks, they're caught up in all of that. But this, to me, this is kind of a a buying opportunity. This is not anything the company did. It's not like that their products are faulty or there's something unusual in that. Either this is going to blow over, or they'll just find another way to make it work. They'll just supply other companies with their stuff, or it'll get resolved. They're also not 100% reliant on the phone anyways. They have. All right, Applied Materials, AMAT, up about 10% in the last 2 days, including tonight's after hours. This is down 22%. And earnings per share is down 36%. Sounds like a disaster, but that's been priced in. Okay, and you can see over on the right is the expectations, and it's green. They beat revenue by 1.1%. They beat earnings by 6.1%. So great. Okay, and their guidance is roughly the same for the next quarter going forward. Okay, so which is basically saying it's hit the bottom. June 1st rock report. After a tough month of May due to trade wars, we said, while clearly it was bad, meaning the trade wars was bad for semis, this is a major group involved in the evolution of technology we are experiencing in artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, cloud computing, big data, Internet of Things, 5G, and more. Investors have to ask themselves, what is bigger, a trade war or the evolution of technology? It's pretty clear to this investor that the latter is bigger than the former. Sooner or later, the trade war will conclude, either on good terms or not so good terms, but nothing can stop evolution. We're not backing down in this area and still supporting names like Applied Materials, KLA 10 Core, Intel, Skyworks, Lam Research, Texas Instruments. However, we did take some chips off the table with Micron, Broadcom, and Nanometrics. Okay, talking about Skyworks, wanted to talk about the semis in general. They've gotten killed over this trade war, and then a bounce today. We're doing this on Tuesday, June 4th at the end of day, and there's a number of the semis that are up, and they're up pretty big. Now, the one-day move, let's just call it, like a lot of them are up about 5%, some 7, some 3, but let's just say 5. Relative to what they've been, on the downside, this little pop, this is not like, oh, don't chase it. You should chase it because you're still getting in much, much lower than what they were 2 months ago or something like that. And if you're looking for a trigger, investors seem to be getting back in. I think this is as good spot as any. So I really like this KLA. I like Applied Materials and Lam Research. Actually, I like them all. ASML is another one, and they're just really, really great companies, a great group altogether. And this is high tech stuff, right? Like when we're talking about measuring 6 nanometers, I mean it's really, really micro measurements here. They say if they put their equipment in high Earth orbit, they can detect they could read the date on a dime. That's insane. That's how sensitive this equipment is. Okay. Anyways, I want to get into the latest data. We do have Q1, and that's really what it's all about, is like where we're at. All right, Applied Materials, we want to check on this after Q1. I think the data's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with the progress and where we're at, and I would be buying the shares here. Lam Research, we just want to check up on it. We know, we've said that, you know, Q1s, which March quarter, let's just say March quarter is supposed to be weak, even Q2 is supposed to be weak. So we shouldn't be too surprised if we see a little bit of a downturn in return on invested capital, and that's okay. And what you would wonder immediately is, well, what happened if you annualized it? So you just take Q4 and multiply by 4, and you do that by just going up to our preset button here and saying, yes, turn that on. And return on capital does drop to 18%. Okay, that's a high quality problem to have. It got caught up in Trump's ban on Huawei, where Huawei was banned from buying technology from the US, including Skyworks, and Skyworks is a big supplier to Huawei. But if you watch that video, in fact, I'm going to go show us a clip, go show everyone a clip of what we said back on May 16th when it was really getting hammered. This is where we start to show our value, I think. Micron, MU on NASDAQ, just released a quarter the other day. We already got the data in our database, so it was a quick one. Great, good turnaround, guys. And I want to analyze it. I'm going to do exactly what we do for our clients on this. Well, every situation is different. This is a situation I think we need to do these certain steps. Okay, so I've ran the data, and automatically we get a $95 target, which is a bit ridiculous. It's only trading at 39. So what's going on? Stay with this company. It's going to be probably going to be cyclical for a long time. But 6% is not going to be normal. I think that's too low. Okay, what I like to do is we do a couple of things. Reverse engineer. So, well, you know, what do they got to earn to justify just today's price, 39? Okay, so let's try. Well, we have 4.5 in year 5. Let's try 5. What does that get us? And that gets us a couple of bucks. So let's go to 6. 6 gets us. There you go. That's almost. That says fairly valued. It's actually. Intrinsic value 42, market value 39. That's not a high bar, right? ASML's up 10% in 2 days after they released their quarter, and it spilled over to KLA because it's a competitor. And I just want to take a good look at it. Good time to review it. Applied Materials, MAAT, is getting a spark from ASML's quarterly report that was out on Wednesday. ASML's been up 10% in 2 days because of the quarter, and then it looks like investors are starting to look at Applied Materials and a couple other ones. So, because it's a very similar company, it's a competitor. I quite like this Applied Materials. I think I like it better than ASML. Lam Research, LRCX on NASDAQ, taking its cue from the ASML Q2 earnings release that beat substantially, beat by earnings per share by about 22%. This is our third video on a equipment maker, a semiconductor equipment maker. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the clips we have, about 30 of them over the last 7-8 months since January 1st. And then, like I said, Barrons or Goldman Sachs came out. There was a Barrons article that they were bullish on the chip sector, and then some other people followed suit after that. Zacks, Applied Materials surges, stock moves 6%. The Street, Lam Research and Applied Materials about to unleash good news. Stifel thinks so. So that was a Street.com article, and then today, Simply Wall Street, a spotlight on Applied Materials fundamentals. So hopefully you see the value of what we bring. Like I said, we've been on these since late 2018 and really started supporting it in early 2019. Thank you for watching our investment video. This is the same analysis we provide to our institutional clients. Want to improve your portfolio? Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel below, or better yet, go to our video website at video.fsavaluation.com and get access to the entire library.